And good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Grin Guardian gang. Obviously, I'm not Sport Cat, but I'm here filling in for the week. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a lovely guest who is going to be joining us this evening, who is a captain at the Chesapeake Virginia Fire Department, and he is a national touring speaker. So Chris Moore is with us, and he will be on with us here in just a moment. And let's see who we've got backstage. There's Matt.
Hey.
And there's Andy. How are you guys doing?
All right, how are you?
Doing good. And let's get our buddy Chris out here so he can tell us all about his very lengthy 30 years working with the fire department. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys very much for having me. And I apologize for saying you guys. I don't say y'all. Say you guys. It encompasses everybody, male, female.
It works.
So, all right.
Not offensive.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris. And I was looking over everything that you sent. That you have over 30 years of experience in the fire department, and now you are a national touring speaker.
Yeah, I'm still an active firefighter, still going at it, career, and I started back in 2020. So for the past 4 years now, I started going around the country speaking to not just firefighters, but first responders everywhere, whether it's law enforcement, corrections, even our dispatchers and other firefighters, about post-traumatic stress and suicide prevention and intervention. And I share my personal story and my personal journey dealing with my own mental health and wellness, and where I was back in 2017 and where I am now in a much better place. I share that and offer not just hope to a lot of people, but the tools to help them to overcome such dark places, and not just the tools, but the know-how and the know-when to use those tools. Because if you just give somebody a set of tools and just say, here, take this and use it, when somebody comes into the fire service, something that we utilize is a set of irons, which is a flathead axe and a Halligan bar. And we use that to pop doors open. And if we just give that to a new firefighter and say, here's your tools, they won't know what the hell to do with it. So same thing goes with just about anything we can apply it to, but with our mental health, if we just tell people resources out there, but don't tell them how to use them or how to access them, we're not doing any good. So I go around the country and speak on that in my downtime.
Oh, that's really awesome. What would you say your main piece of advice for people dealing with PTSD is?
So main piece of advice that I give to everybody, and it's going to be kind of in two parts here right now, is a therapist therapy is amazing. Therapist and finding a therapist is like a pair of shoes. If you go to the shoe store to get a new pair of shoes and you try them on and they don't feel right or you don't like them, are you going to just leave that shoe store and go around barefoot the rest of your life? Absolutely not. You're going to try on another pair of shoes, and you should do the exact same thing with a therapist. Find that therapist that's right with you, the right fit that you can be open and be honest with, because only then can you start getting on that path to recovery and getting help. So that's part one. And the second part is, once you do find that therapist, in our profession, and the military as well, but first responders, when the tones drop and we get a call, we're already behind the 8 ball. We're being reactive. So with your mental health and wellness, I recommend that everybody be proactive in it. Find that therapist now. Don't wait until you're in such a bad and a dark place. Go ahead and be proactive. Find that therapist. And even if you don't have anything going on negative or impacting you in your life, which everybody has something, go once a month, at least once a month. And I do that now. I go twice a month for therapy, and I'll never stop doing that. Times where I think I have nothing to talk about when I go to an appointment and I sit down within 10 minutes of my appointment, I'm like, oh shit, this did happen to me. And let's talk about this. Let's process it. And so that's important. Go ahead and be proactive. Find a therapist, the right fit for you, and just start going now. Don't wait for an event or something to happen.
I think it's also very important for people to understand that, therapy is okay. It's okay to ask for help and admit that you don't have all the answers or you don't know why you feel a certain way. Because I can speak from personal experience. It took far longer than it should have to be okay with talking to somebody. And a lot of the times I think people, think just talking to friends and family is enough. But how much it puts things in perspective from having somebody else's point of view rather than somebody that knows you.
That's right. So we do, well, actually, let me thank you and tell you, great job
Thank you.
reaching out and getting people to talk to. But the hardest thing, we do a lot of hard stuff in our lives, especially as first responders and our military. And the hardest thing that I've ever had to do was get those 2 words out. I joke when I do my presentations that the 2 hardest words that I've ever had to say in my entire life, other than I do, was help me. And that part wasn't a joke. The I do part was the joke. Nobody picked up on or laughed at or anything, but usually gets a little stir at the conferences. But help me was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. And I do a lot of tough stuff. It's a tough job, but just picking up that phone, it felt like it weighed 5,000 pounds in that moment. And
and the first couple times it kind of does.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what got you into that role? Like, what did anything inspire you in the past when you were a kid? Like, how'd you fall into that job?
The career as a firefighter?
Yeah.
My dad, he was a Vietnam era Marine, and when he got back from Vietnam, he joined the local police department here in Norfolk, Virginia. And I remember just growing up, obviously with the Marine Corps background that he had, and then the paramilitary with the police department, just had a lot of strict discipline that he raised my brother and I with. But I just remember I was always in awe every time that I saw my dad put that uniform on and going out to work to go walk the beat. And just how proud I was. I was like, that's my dad. That's my old man right there going out to serve the community. And he was so happy and so proud to do that. and I always enjoyed it. It was a much different time back then. And remember, he used to, when he had the patrol car, he would come by the house and pick me up and take me on patrol with him. I don't think you can really get away with a lot of that stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
But it was just so much fun, and seeing the brotherhood, sisterhood, the camaraderie, and everything that law enforcement had. And we would go by the firehouse, and there's always that good-hearted rivalry between police and fire. But he didn't really buy into that a whole lot. He just had good camaraderie with all those guys, and I really liked all of it. And I knew that was something I wanted to do after watching my dad do it, was give back and serve the community. And I joke that I just so happened, I didn't go police like my old man did, but I scored higher on the test, and I was able to be a firefighter instead of having to settle to be a cop.
Nice.
When did you start your career as a firefighter?
So I started in 1993 in Virginia Beach. I actually started out, it was a volunteer here. I volunteered here for 7 years, and then I got picked up as a career firefighter in 2000 in the neighboring city of Chesapeake, Virginia.
So I have to ask, because of it being such a close time, with you finally getting that job in 2000. How did 9/11 impact all that?
Oh man, when you said I had to ask, and you said it was such a close time, I knew exactly what you were going to say. And the hair on my arms every time I think about 9/11 or just anything that has to do with it. I actually got one of my tattoos here is in reference to 9/11. I think all of us we're all old enough where we pretty much remember where we were, what was going on that day. I was in school here. I was in the department, but I was at school getting my paramedic. And we actually, when it happened, 2 days later, we sent, I believe it was 6 firefighters up to ground zero to work the pile there. And I was going to be number 7. I'd volunteered to go, but my girlfriend at the time, she was living up in New Jersey, and she was supposed to already had plans. She was coming down to visit and hang out with me before all that happened. And I told her I was going to go there, and she pretty much begged me not to go and said she was coming down and we're spending the time together and all that. So I didn't go. And I guess in a way that was kind of a good thing, because we had two of the 6 people that went got occupational cancer, and they attributed it to working the pile there.
That's horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, I was in high school actually when that happened. That's actually right. When I just saw I went in the military, and I was like, no, what choice did I just make? So, yeah, I feel you.
I probably would have. I still could have at that time, but if I wasn't already in the fire department, I probably would have signed up for the military at that point too.
Which branch did you sign up for?
Oh, probably wouldn't have followed in my dad's footsteps. I probably would have signed up. The Navy is super huge here, so probably would have.
Definitely in
for the Navy
in Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it there in Virginia?
Love it. You're born and raised.
Yeah. You like been out of state or anywhere really far at all?
I've been. Have I been anywhere out of state?
Yeah, anywhere like any long distance overseas or anything like that.
I've been to overseas. I've been to Germany. I've been to Frankfurt and some surrounding areas there in Germany. That's pretty much, besides Mexico and Canada and Dominican Republic.
Okay.
But, But yeah, within the continental United just states here, I've been to a lot of majority of the states, probably I'd say 3/4
Okay.
of the states here. Been out to
Um,
the West Coast and Midwest.
and you also got deployed to Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yeah, I deployed there in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita just totally devastated the Gulf Coast there, and was out there for a little over 2 weeks, just shy of 3 weeks, when I got the notification while I was deployed that my father passed away, and that was
Oh my gosh.
that was very unexpected. So they had to hurry up and get me back. I was in Cameron Parish, Louisiana, when I found out, which is right on the southwest border of Louisiana and Texas. So they had to rush me from there to the airport in Houston and get me a plane ticket and fly me back home to Virginia. But that was the whole thing was just an experience. Just everything that, I mean, you can still go back and look at footage, and when they had the anniversary of all of that, just none of the footage or anything that you see does it any. I don't even know if saying justice is the right word to use on that, but just the devastation that was there. Where I was at in Cameron Parish, they only had one building left standing in that parish, and everything was just gone. One of the things I had to do between running calls, I was a right of way um, chief for it. I had to, and the laws and everything were just kind of weird. If houses that were just devastated, if they were moved miles down the road or whatever, before the Army Corps of Engineer and everybody could come in and just remove the hazard, we had to track down the homeowners and have them sign paperwork before things could be moved off the road or wherever they may have been. And
How on earth is that supposed to work with everything that just happened?
I tell you, the people that were there, there was a curfew. They could only come in from sunrise to sunset. Most of them were staying about 60 miles away in Lake Charles, Louisiana. But when they came in, if you just say, "Hey, who owns that house that's yellow and has the blue shutters or whatever," and they tell you, "Oh, that was Johnny Boudreau's house or whatever," and we can get you in touch with him. So everybody knew everybody there. So it was fairly easy to track the people down. They didn't have any fatalities. They had a direct hit from Rita in Cameron Parish, and they had no fatalities due to the fact that they learned from what happened in Hurricane Katrina.
Wow.
That's crazy.
All horrible, but a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, they had a lot of alligator farms there, and
Oh gosh.
yes, all the alligators got loose,
No.
which was very concerning for us. But the Cajun people there told us that the alligators wouldn't mess with us as long as we're taller than the alligator is long. And my response to that was, I didn't see a damn measuring tape in the alligator's hands or anything like that. So I was like, I'm not taking any chances. But the people there, they were amazing. They lost everything they had, staying 60 miles away, but they were coming in and they were bringing us food and
Wow.
feeding us and taking care of us. They were just so grateful and thankful for our service, what we were doing there to help them just bring some kind of stability to their community.
Yeah,
That's
I can
amazing.
imagine. Chris, you said you retired at 30 years?
I'm not retired yet. I'm still active.
So you're still active. Okay. But 30 years going strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
31 years now, going strong. So I want to try.
When are you planning on retiring?
I want to try and do 6 more years.
Stay as long as you can?
Yeah. It's nice to know that I meet all the requirements, where if something came up, my body just breaks down and I want to retire tomorrow, that I can. But unfortunately, I just can't financially right now. Just went last year through a divorce. So trying to just build my life back up and finances and everything like that.
Right on, right on.
Probably best too to keep yourself busy and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even if without the fire service running calls and everything, I would just increase my touring, going around speaking to departments all over. So I'm always going to find something to stay busy. But it's definitely a young person's game right now. The the older guys like myself, the body just takes a lot longer to recover.
Yep, that's true.
So I was reading that you have quite the considerable list of different teams and whatnot that you've served in. What is a foam team?
Foam. We have parties all the time, just raves and everything. We just spray foam all over the place, glow sticks, and
I knew it.
yeah,
I appreciate the cut and dryness of it.
It's firefighting foam. We have Class A foam for your typical fires, and Class B foam for flammable liquids. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It just
Okay, so it's literally that cut and dry.
it's literally foam that we have a foam concentrate, and when it gets mixed with water through our fire hose, it puts a blanket of foam over top, and it smothers. It helps separate the oxygen from it, but it also for like the Class A fires, which is your standard room and contents fire, is a Class A fire, and it actually makes the like the surfactant level in the water. It makes water more wet, is the way we put it, just in layman's terms, where it helps penetrate to the seat of the fire a lot better and soak up like into the furniture or whatever it is that may be burning.
That's awesome. The phone too, Chris, on the ship. We have some on the ship called HFF. It's probably the same that you're talking about, the aqueous film forming foam when you fight fires.
Yeah.
So,
we get the commercials on every day. Every 5 minutes, it seems like there's a commercial. Were you exposed to firefighting foam or drink the water?
Yeah. We did all that stuff. BKP, CO2 bottles, everything.
Oh yeah, PKP.
Fun stuff. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun blasting stuff on top of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's probably different. Back then, we had these things called OBAs. I don't know if you ever heard of them. It's the big, huge chest piece you used to wear, and it slides through you, and it was your breathing apparatus. I mean, now you got the the good ones you throw over your shoulders, but yeah, those ones are horrible.
Yeah.
You're sitting there trying to breathe, and like you're putting the whole firefight trying to fight that fire, and you're like trying not to pass out. So yeah. You got any like war fighting stories, man? Anything like fun, cool, crazy that ever happened in your career?
Whew, man.
Something out of the ordinary, like you always share with your buddies, you tell them?
You had to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to an iguana that you saved out of a house fire.
I've done it with.
I was going to say that.
I've helped resuscitate a dog before, not an iguana, but.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah, lots of people. Cool stories. I don't know, pretty humble. I mean, just things that I don't really think are like super cool. When I do start talking about it, people are like, damn, that's cool as shit. But I can say that, right? So
we'll use that later.
Sorry.
We've had worse said than they didn't say anything. So.
But
I
think I take a lot of the stuff for granted, I think, and I can't nothing.
You think probably because it was like ordinary day-to-day stuff to you, and like if something crazy did happen, to be like, that's my job. I'm just getting used to it, like doing it.
Yeah,
fighting fires and all that.
I mean, there's a lot of like bad things that are still up in here. I've just since processed, and I appreciate and I like the way that you guys ask just kind of cool stuff that I've seen or done instead of asking. One of my biggest pet peeves, I can't stand it when people ask, "What's the worst thing that you've ever seen?" And
Like you don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
because think about it, if it's the worst thing that I've ever seen, why would
I
I
want
want
to
to
relive it.
and share that
Yeah.
with you again?
Yeah.
No.
I know when people ask that, they don't mean anything bad by it, but it just, to me, it just never, it doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
for the longest time, I wouldn't really let people know that I was a firefighter, and I kind of just stayed in a very tight knit circle because I was afraid I was going to get so PO'd with people asking that question. I don't want to relive it or anything like that. The worst thing, the coolest thing, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's a great question. That when you help a kid with something, or a kid just comes up to the firehouse and wants you to show them around or whatever, to me that's cool. It's not necessarily a call, but
Do you get that happen often?
we do. We have kids that come up all the time. We do different demos where we'll go to community events and do things like that. And that's one of the biggest things. And shoot, besides that, probably one of the coolest things is just when somebody you help, regardless of what their age is, they acknowledge you and they say thank you. We don't get that enough, and not that I need that or anything, but it's pretty cool when you go there and you might have just done CPR on their loved one and you didn't rescue them or get them back. And then a few shifts later, one of their loved ones comes up to the firehouse and says, "Hey, thank you for working on my dad. I saw you guys. I was right there. I know you did everything you could, and thank you." To me, that's cool. It's even cooler if we could have brought them back, but just for somebody to come up and recognize our efforts
No,
is
sometimes that little bit of validation goes a long way, especially, you could have been having the crappiest day ever, and just that thank you is just enough to, this is why I do what I do.
yeah. And seeing the change that the fire service has made in the past 3 decades, 30 years now, where we were 30 years ago and where we are right now and where we're headed to is it's pretty cool just to see that evolution. But yet we still know that we're very big on culture and tradition, and we're still maintaining that culture and tradition and passing that on to the next generation. So departments all across the country have this same mentality and instinct. We want to leave. When I leave, I want my department to be even better than it was when I came in. So that's why I'm training up when I get new firefighters that graduate the academy and get assigned to me at my firehouse. I train them up and not just show them how to do everything, but I teach them about the tradition and the culture, why we're doing the certain things that we're doing. And then trying to crash that stigma of the mental health. I teach them about that as well, so they do have long and prosperous careers.
And what would you say has changed so much in the last 30 years?
Shoot, like Matt was talking about, just our breathing apparatus that we wear into fires has transitioned tremendously. Our gear has gotten so much better, which could be a downfall because now we're going deeper into the structures because we have more. Our air packs are lighter weight now. We have more time where we're on air. Our gear is actually a little bit lighter as well that we wear, and we can tolerate a lot more heat. But the thing is, we don't feel the heat right away. And if we get in too far and it gets too hot, we run the risk of having a flash over where everything in the room ignites, where it just hits that combustible temperature and flashes over, which is extremely dangerous. But it is cool just seeing that we are striving to get better. They just found out within the past couple years that our gear that we've been wearing actually has forever chemicals in it, which are carcinogens, the PFAS. So they're working now to retransition or remake our gear, find a different way to make it where it still has the same capabilities for us. So cancer is extremely high in the fire service because obviously all the smoke and soot, carcinogens. That's being put off the older furniture that people had in the up until like 70s, maybe early 80s. We call that legacy furniture. That would just burn and didn't have all the chemicals inside of it, all the polys and everything. And now there's so many chemicals and treatments that are on the sofas and chairs, whatever it is inside the houses and carpets, that it's just putting off horrible chemicals. So we got to worry about that, but now we got to worry about our gear too.
That's something that I never would have thought of.
Yeah.
Everything that comes off of the furniture and everything. I never would have thought about that.
Oh yeah, especially on old houses too. Hopefully there's no asbestos or anything you guys got to deal with.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Chris, we're so I don't know if you know, we're the Grin Guardian. We all our challenge coins and everything. You did say unfortunately you had to say goodbye to them. But if you can remember, did you have any challenge coins that were given to you that like had some kind of significant meaning to you, or by a specific?
So
maybe a specific unit or something.
Yeah, I got one from. It was actually a Master Chief. I can't remember what his unit was, but he was working in Cameron Parish, Louisiana in 2005. We were all at the FEMA camp, working at the command center there, right on the Gulf, literally right on the Gulf of Mexico. And it was a really badass challenge coin that this Master Chief gave me. And it was something with the had like the Playboy logo on it, but it was really cool and really
challenge coin.
Him, and then there was a team there from California, and they gave me, it was I believe California Task Force 5 gave me a challenge coin, and just because of just from being there, I got a lot of ties just with friends in Louisiana, and then being there during that to help out was important. But those coins were important for that, but it kind of it tied me in since I lost my dad at that time, and just made them a little more sentimental and everything as well, because those guys they mailed those coins to me. Since I had to leave out of there abruptly, they all sent me some cards and coins, and it was just something that was very sentimental to me. And I know you guys had Jim Bernica on here. Him and Nick Magato do a first responder conference in exotic Beaver Creek, Ohio every year. And yeah, Jim and I became really good friends. And I like the challenge coins that he does every year. They do a different theme for their conference. And they put a beaver on there. And this year, I think he showed you guys on the show a few weeks ago or a month ago, whenever it was he was on here. With the beaver, they're doing the wrestling theme, and he has the beaver dressed up like a luchador wrestler with a mask on. So, things like that. I do have something here, not a challenge coin, but I thought about this. This is heavy.
It sounds it already.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man, look at
it's a
this size of that
ginormous
thing.
challenge coin.
Yeah,
So, do you know, any of you guys know what this is?
a big hunk of metal.
Did you hang it outside the firehouse?
Well, not the firehouse. You're close. It goes on or used to go on the exterior walls of homes. So what that
Wow.
is, it's a antique fire marker, and they predominantly they were mostly on the East Coast here.
Mm-hmm.
So when the fire service first came to be, it was founded by Ben Franklin, and it was all predominantly volunteer fire companies. And then when they did have some professional fire departments, the only way they would get paid was through insurance companies. So they came up with these antique markers here. These are from specific, they have different ones. So this is from the fireman's insurance company, it says on there. So
Wow.
if you had insurance on your home, it meant the firefighters were going to get paid for coming to save your stuff.
Wow.
So you paid insurance, you got one of these, and you put outside there. And the story has it that if your house was on fire and you didn't have one of those markers, either they wouldn't try as hard or they wouldn't put it out. Back in the day, that was a long time ago.
Man.
But
That's
so
pretty
these
crazy.
these are pretty valuable and sought after for collectors and that collect fire service stuff or just antiques in general.
How did you come across that?
I came across that at a friend's house who actually bought his house. It was an old house he bought from a firefighter. And I was like, oh, that's a replica. Well, I've taken it and had it somebody look at it. And it wasn't like Antiques Roadshow or anything, but they looked at it and they said that this is a legit one. And I can't remember, it was like 18 something, 1800s, or early 1800s or something like that, that
Wow.
they said it was from. So,
And
yeah,
for being that old, it looks like it's in pretty darn good condition too.
Yeah, I was about to say that thing's already got some monetary value on that thing. It's that old.
lots of patina on it.
Yeah, that's cool though.
It's a
Wow.
heck of a paperweight.
Yeah, I have a patch here. It's a metal patch. There's a veteran company, veteran owned and operated up in Columbus, Ohio, that makes these just metal morale patches.
That's
I don't
cool.
know if
That's actually pretty cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they do all sorts of different patches like that. So it's not necessarily, obviously not a coin, but that's kind of
I feel like it passes.
kind of all I got right now. Those two things.
It's coin-esque.
Yeah, but I will rise again and build my collection right back up.
Nice. I got I have a laser engraver, Chris. That's what I do too. I do those things.
Okay,
What
cool.
you got in your hat? Yeah. So I do challenge coins as well, but most of the money so far has been coming in through laser engraving services.
Nice.
So, yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's it. Well, you said you're getting ready to retire soon too. So
Yeah. Like I said, I got kids to feed, so I gotta figure out something. But I'll have an unnormal job. That's just a fun job on the side, fun money, that kind of stuff.
You're with aviation, right?
No, I'm in. Well, I'm an IT, so I do I'm the frequency manager out here. So I just do all I manage all the frequencies for all the aircrafts that fly out here. But I'm not in the actual aviation field. I'm actually the only guy who's not an aviator type guy. So yeah, I'm more the quiet, lucky guys, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Now, in like your 30 plus years of service, have you like won any kind of awards or anything like that?
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few. Probably one of the most distinguished is the Fire Chief's Medal of Commendation. I've gotten a lot of Life Save awards and things like that, but the Fire Chief Medal of Commendation for my work in peer support and behavioral health and wellness for first responders. So I'd just gotten that back in 2022, I believe it was.
Oh, wow. So do you with working with the peer support and everything, um like do you just do the like the conferences, or is this like something you regularly go like from station to station to talk to people about? Or
Yeah, we do it. It's internal. We have our own internal peer support team. Our department is just shy of 500 members, and we have a team. I think we got about 20 of us on our team right now, and people know who we are, and it's all 100% confidential. We just, if somebody is struggling or whatever, they know that they can come to us, or they can go elsewhere if they want to, whatever makes them more comfortable. And sometimes people we're finding all across the country, that's why peer support's becoming the big thing. A lot of times people are more comfortable just going to a peer and bouncing things off of us or whatever. And we can always do a handoff if we need to, sending them up to a certified trained clinician or therapist. But peer support within our agency is working very well right now.
that's great. I really like to see the more focus being out there for mental health, and the acknowledgement that it's okay to ask for the help.
Yeah, and it's
Feels,
okay to talk about it too.
yeah.
So Chris, you said you have like what voluntary services do you provide, or do you do any kind of voluntary stuff?
Do I personally, or just my
personally?
organization?
Yeah, or both.
So for the longest time when I first started going out touring and sharing my story, I was doing everything on my dime, and it, it really wreaked a lot of havoc on me when the bills started coming due, and I was like, oh no. But so I was volunteering that. Now what I do is I am starting to charge for my services now, but I do it at a very discounted, almost a voluntary rate, to just kind of supplement for me my expenses going out there, because like I said, I was paying to travel across the country to different places, and as I'm sure we all know, that's not cheap.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll do stuff locally around here now, go and talk to agencies and things like that. I actually just went to my high school alma mater. They were looking for alumni that could come there and speak to their the high school students about our time at the school, what we're doing now. And they also asked me if I would be able to, when I tell them what I'm doing now, just talk to them about mental health and wellness as well. So I obviously didn't charge anything for that. I volunteer. I love helping out. When my son, he's 19 now, just turned 19 a week ago, but I would volunteer, did a lot of coaching and stuff like that, just working with youth.
Is he gonna follow in Dad's footsteps?
That's one thing I've never encouraged him either way. I mean, I encourage him to be a good human being, and
as any dad would do.
yeah, I want him to find his own way and blaze his own trail. I give him some advice here and there, but I'm not gung ho that you got to keep the family tradition alive of being a first responder.
6th generation, go.
I want him to be successful, but I want him to be happy.
Yeah,
and that's the main thing. I want him to find himself. I know he's only 19 now, but I do let him know that life gets away from you quick, and before you know it, you're 51 years old, and you're like, shit, I just thought I was 19 last week.
Yep.
So I just don't want it to get away from him too quick. I want him to be able to support a family if that's what he elects to do down the road, and just have a career instead of just a job. But more importantly, I want him to be happy. So,
do you have any other hobbies, Chris?
Living right here on the coast, I love everything that has to do with water. Um, I love just going and hanging out at the beach. From time to time, like to surf, like to do a lot of fishing. Spend time with.
What was the biggest fish you ever caught?
I caught a tuna. Caught a bunch of tuna, but it's not like the ones you see on wicked
were you
tuna.
deep sea fishing or just off the coast? Come on.
It was deep sea. We were probably about 30 miles off the coast here is where we got to go. But
Well, how many pounds?
it's probably about just shy of 100, I think. I want to say it was
Holy
like
cow.
97. Yeah, the ones you see on TV though, those are like 600 pounds.
Yeah, but you get a lot of good meat in it though, right? You got a lot.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of meat on them, but it's so expensive to go.
To get that thing cut up.
Yeah,
So I'm just do it myself. Get my machete.
Yeah, to pay and go on a boat offshore fishing, it's nuts.
Yeah,
But
Shoot, you might as well just give them half the fish.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Or just take the money I'd spend to go catch that fish and just go to the seafood market and buy my own fish.
Yeah, you probably would love to go live in Iceland, Chris.
Yeah.
I was stationed up there for about 1.5 years, and they had a boat you would pay. You'd pay them. You'd go out, and whatever you caught, they brought back and they cooked. So they cut it up, and then it's all one price.
It's funny you mentioned Iceland because I just had within the past week I had 2 conversations with guys. We were just talking about places to travel, and they said that's their favorite place they've been, Iceland. They're like, go there and just get a rental car and just drive around the island.
Yep. When you get back, you're probably gonna miss some trees, but it's definitely feels like a whole nother planet out there.
Yeah.
It's actually, I don't know if you know, that's where the astronauts test their vehicles out there. Because all of Iceland is just, it's like Hawaii, it's rock, right? It's just tons and tons of rock and moss. So NASA takes like their rovers out there and they'll just roll over there and try to test the wheels and all these rocks they got because it's just volcanic rock.
Well, that's cool.
So, yeah. And then if you ever do go up there, I highly suggest you go to something called the Blue Lagoon. Google it.
Okay.
It's a spa, an outdoor spa where it's literally blue. And it's like freezing death cold outside. And you jump in this thing, and it's like a hot tub from Earth.
Nice.
And they slow this sludge from underneath you all over your body. It's like, what are you doing? And then they start rubbing it on, and it's all soft. And you're like, oh wow, this actually feels pretty good. So yeah, definitely something to definitely see up in Iceland. Like I said, I was only up there for 1.5 years. I closed down the DAFCON tail stay up there, right next to the airport. There's one small base up there still. It's out of Keflavik, I think is the city. One of the two. But yeah, fun times up there. That's what I meant if you ever traveled. I'm military, so I've pretty much been literally everywhere. He asked, "Oh, you been there?" Yeah, I've been there pretty much. East Coast, West Coast, Japan, Europe, everywhere. So yeah, definitely worth seeing. You too, Shay. Gotta get out of that place. All them frogs croaking up back there.
I'll stay in my little swampy area here back out the holler. I'm being serenaded, okay? It's fine.
It sounds relaxing, actually.
It's making me quite tired, but
here's your next money profit, Shay. So get a recorder, put it outside, record like a good 5 hours of it, turn around and sell it.
I'll get my nails on and I'll do like some.
There you go. Yeah, ASMR. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Do a podcast of frogs. Make tons of money.
I'll just go set my phone outside on live on TikTok and just let them have it.
Don't be the only one sharing the glory. Get somebody else on there to get serenaded.
It's life in the holler.
Yeah,
on the holler. Okay.
Yeah. So Chris, 30 years, and then you're gonna retire. Whenever you retire, do you have plans or like just a general idea? Well, you're gonna volunteer or you're gonna go somewhere else or
do more of the speaking.
Yeah.
Travel around, do a lot more of that. My girlfriend now, she's 11 years younger than me, so she'll still be working. So maybe she can support me. I'll have my retirement coming in and
just have you a little sugar mama.
Yeah, little sugar mama. But she's a nurse, so she might look into do some travel nursing.
They make a lot of money. Those travel nurses, tons of money.
So we might do that for a little while. Just start traveling around and
Just like those old people with RV, just start going around the states, with your RV camper and just
that's it. Just park in
see
the
the
Walmart
sights.
parking lot here and there.
I forgot what site it is. There's a website you go to. I think what's it called?
Probably like
Fi-
tiny
fi- fi-
homes.
It's like there's a website you go to, and it's like it has every state like things to do in there. But they have one that has the entire like the road trip you need to take of all the way from like up south of north of like the states. It's like I don't know, it's like a month trip or something like that. But it's so cool.
It's
'Cause
all
you literally hit every single like thing, gift shop or known wonders of the United States. Like you hit all that stuff going all the way around.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's like the RV camper trip the ultimate trip you need to take. I don't know.
You can start vlogging from the back of your camper van.
There you go. See, make some money, buddy. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that and hitting up like since we're talking about traveling around in an RV or something, but do like all the baseball or football stadiums.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Check all of those out. Try and do all that in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just live in the present and one day at a time, and just enjoy life.
Now, are you gonna do any more writing? Because you were published in Fire Engineering magazine.
Yes, ma'am. Had an article kind of chronicling a little bit of my story at that time, but I'm working on a book right now. Got a couple people that are helping me out. So I am not very good at. I can get things. I think a pen and a piece of paper is two very powerful tools. And if you think about that, the power of pen to paper, the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, the Bible, just everything from just somebody using a pen and a piece of paper coming up with all that stuff. But I can get my ideas and my thoughts down, but it doesn't always make sense. So I got some people helping me to better word and just edit a lot of my stuff and take some of the language out. And
no, leave the language in. It's realistic.
That'd be me trying to write like an autobiography. It'd be like F this, F that, every other word.
Nope.
See, maybe I'll do the first ever first responder book that's actually like a pop-up book. Like the kid, I remember growing up as a kid, we used to have like the pop-up books.
You can pull the little cardboard thing and it'll
yeah. Yeah, I'll come up with something creative like that. But we always joke, and I think no matter where I go, and you just change the name of city in front of fire department, and we all have the same stories and problems and good times and bad times. And we always joke about we could write a book about a lot of the stuff that we've seen because people wouldn't believe it. It's just so crazy, some of the stuff. And I know you guys asked me about like crazy things that I've seen or done, but it's just we've had, you got kids. There's a kid named Arangelo. So
Arangelo.
Man, that's a name.
Well, it's orange jello, but it was pronounced Arangelo because the mom was eating lots of orange jello, so that's where she came up with the name, and that's the actual name of the kid.
Wow.
We run into stuff like that all the time, and we tell each other, we're like, man, you can't make this stuff up. Just little things like that. So we joke about just doing a book with just a chapter about Arangelo and a chapter about this or that.
No, that's got to be the title of the book, just Arangelo. Nobody'll. Arangelo, a fireman's story.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And so you were also in a documentary too.
Yeah, that just came out in 2022, they did the world premiere of that in Dallas, Texas. It's Conrad Weaver is the filmmaker, the, I guess, documentarian, I believe would be the proper name. And he followed, it was 4 of us, a firefighter out in Anaheim, California, a police officer in the West Virginia, Maryland area. I believe she's actually in Maryland, and a dispatcher from Boston. She was actually one of the dispatchers during the Boston Marathon bombing. And then he rode with me, and he tells our stories about our struggles with post-traumatic stress and our fears of reaching out for help because of just the stigma associated with it, as far as what people would think, but also how your job could potentially treat you if you come out with having any issues, and how a lot of agencies and organizations and even just like doctors just want to throw magic pills at everybody, and you can't always function with that. So it's a actual award-winning documentary that he produced, and like I said, it debuted in Dallas, Texas, November of 22, and it was an honor to have a little spot in there. Unfortunately, in August of 23, so almost a year after that came out, Nicole, she was the dispatcher in the documentary, and she lost her battle with post-traumatic stress, and she's passed away. So, but it was great having the opportunity when Conrad brought us all together for the premiere to actually meet her and meet the other people as well, and spend time with them. And several days we were out in the Dallas area, and before they had the premiere there, Conrad actually took us out to a farm, and we did equine therapy together, all of us, and it was an amazing time. But yeah, check it out. It's on, I know it's on Amazon Prime right now. It's called PTSD 911, and I think it's on a few other platforms as well.
Right. Chris, if you'll give us just a second, we've got to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
When you get the notification, Para or Normal Guys YouTube is live.
All right, and we're back, everybody, here with Chris Moore. And I hate that that happened, but at least you've got those memories with her before that happened, so that's a blessing in itself.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, we won't keep you on too much longer, Chris. Where can anybody find you if they want to check out what you've got going on?
So I'm old school. If they still had MySpace, I would be on MySpace, I guess.
I still got MySpace.
Yeah.
They can reach you via P.O. Box.
Yeah. A smoke signal. I got just my own personal private Facebook page, which it's just Chris Moore, and you'll see this mug right there when you do the search. And I'm also on LinkedIn. But one of the things I do with all my social media is I put my personal private cell phone number out there to everybody. I usually do a weekly video just talking about mental health and wellness. And with all that, I always say I will always listen and put my cell phone number out there. So I'll say it out here for anybody that's watching. It's 757-536-3373. And I do have to give the disclaimer. I am not a clinician. I'm not a therapist. I'm sure as hell not a doctor. But what I am is I'm a fellow first responder. I'm a human being. I got lots of lived experiences as a first responder with mental health issues of my own. And the main thing, I will always listen. Sometimes people just need to be heard. And we've trained ourselves over decades the wrong way. We listen in order to form a reply, and that's not the right way to listen. But somewhere down the road we change it, and that's what we do now. We need to just shut up, listen to understand, and understand how they're feeling and where they're coming from, and that's what I do. A lot of times people don't need the answers. They're not searching for answers to questions or whatever. They just want to be heard.
They just need to get it out.
Yeah, that's it. Since I started putting my phone number out there in 2020, people told me I was crazy when I was thinking about doing it. I was like, you know what? If people prank call me or whatever they want to do, so be it, as long as I can reach one person and make a difference. Well, I'm just shy of 2,200 phone calls, text messages in 4 years.
Wow.
People that have reached out to me, and not all of them struggling or anything like that. Sometimes it's people I haven't had zero prank calls, none. I know now somebody will probably hit me up or whatever because I'm advertising that part. But everybody takes it serious. And sometimes people just call me to thank me. Sometimes people call me to say, hey, can you come to my department or whatever? So I'm so blessed and thankful that I can turn my story and my tragedy into something positive for others. That's one thing I didn't get to share with you guys when I was talking about my mental health and wellness was, I don't know if it'll come up here or not. Actually, the semicolon. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are familiar with the meaning of the semicolon. It's usually anybody that has a suicide attempt. And I did with my post-traumatic stress and everything, try and take my life. So, and I'm open and honest and candid about that when I talk to others. And I think that's what's so well respected about me when I come around and I talk to others, that they can relate to it. Because one thing I think a lot of people in general can do, but especially a first responder or the military, we can smell bullshit. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not getting any of that from me. They're picking up what I'm putting down, and it's very meaningful. So thank you guys for having me on here. Even though I didn't meet your agenda or criteria.
No, you're fine, brother.
Challenge
It'll be
coins.
fine.
You're fine, brother. You're fine.
Yeah.
You know you had them.
We'll reach out.
We're gonna fix that. Don't worry. We're gonna fix that quick.
Yep. That'll make it happen.
Yep. Don't worry.
But thank you so much for sharing everything with us.
Well,
And we
thank you,
greatly
guys.
appreciate having you here.
I appreciate being here. So tell Glenn that I'll send him a message also. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate him reaching out to me and just having this conversation with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. We'll be reaching out soon. So you have a good evening.
And he's gone. Where's Glenn?
Hanging out in the woods with Bobby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. He can have Wi-Fi. Tell him to whip his phone out. He can still run the show.
Yeah, he was like, "You can text me and I'll answer it whenever I have service." I was like, "All right, man, it'll be fine."
Yeah. What's up, Andy?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. You good? Or not? What's up, Shay?
Oh,
Crap call.
Trying to make it. Just trying to make it. Jesus.
trying-
I'm awake.
No more serenading the frogs.
It's no, they're still out there.
Yep. So, Shay, so just so you're tracking, I know everybody's been asking. So I'm getting these ones next week.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I'll have yours and the other like 200 ready to go. Sent out to
Awesome.
you. Yes. And you'll be ready for the movie in July. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Whenever Travis gets it done, I'll have to show you the really cool picture of Wolverine that he's working on right now. It very much reminded me of that because he's got half the mask ripped off and half of it is showing his face.
Like freehand drawn?
Yeah, he's a comic book artist.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
You're sitting on a gold mine over there?
Another challenge coin designer. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, comic coin or something.
AI number 2.
Oh, that's not AI. That's real.
Yeah, no, that's he's
How long does it take him to draw it?
He's only been working on that like the past 2 days, I think. Maybe. I don't know how much he worked on it today.
Wow, he's
But
almost
he
done?
had for the most part of like the body. Whenever I walked in there, I was like,
That's cool.
you give him some beefy thighs, man. It's like he's got some skull crushers right there. But it very much reminded me of that because like half of he's got half like the original mask and then the other half is just crazy hair and beard and stuff.
Okay, so you need
I
to
have
give
to
me
go
that, and then I'm gonna do a new coin. I'm gonna do half of that, and
I'll have to go sneak in his studio and take a picture of it.
that's really cool. That's cool. You got your own
Yeah.
comic book writer.
Yeah. That's actually how I became a whole part of this.
Yay!
We were doing we were on Paranormal Guys for our Kickstarter for his and a buddy of ours' story that they're putting out. And
Sweet.
the buddy was like going on podcast circuit and he was like, well, I've got like this paranormal show. And I was like, I don't care about anything else except for that one.
And she's been here ever since.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
I was
awesome.
there that Wednesday and then I was on that Saturday.
You really didn't know too much about challenge coins. You were just kind of like, huh, what's this?
Not a,
Big old fat 0.
Yep.
Yeah.
no,
And
that's
I know
why
a
I
lot.
have to. That's why I have to do like my research on all this because I'm like I just
Yeah, well, we talk about challenge coins, but we talk literally about everything. Glenn's always like, well, we can talk about other stuff too. That just helps
Well,
break
I mean,
ice to a lot of people.
yeah, but I mean, like finding out. I'm learning. I'm gradually learning a lot more about like public safety and things like that. Whereas you throw me on Monday night on UFL, I'm just like,
Oh, yeah. Not everybody's a sports cat.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I got you.
She's like, nope, not gonna do it.
no.
Mm-mm. So what's up with Corey? Where's Corey at? I haven't seen Corey in
Hell if I
forever.
know. I haven't heard him for the last couple
Still
weeks.
breathing over here. Yes, Facebook stalked that guy.
Like, hey, where y'all at?
Yeah, right. Do you guys hear about any new tech coming out? Anything cool?
No, I want to know what was going on with all the technology today. My
the
phone
stuff
wasn't
going
working for
down?
crap.
Yeah.
My phone wasn't
it was the
working for crap
Chinese. Duh.
again.
Yeah, right. Everything's going down.
No, I like me being the youngest one where I work. I am very patient with the technology and I'm pretty darn good with it. But I was 2 seconds from ripping my computer off the wall and throwing it out the window. My phone wasn't working. The computer was not doing what I was wanting it to do. I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah. Maybe it's the area you live in. Who knows?
I don't know, but like it wasn't. And
You are in the Swamp Plains, you said, so it could be a number of
well, I don't work out in the swampland. I just live out in it.
things.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was everybody and their mama was in there and having problems today, and I'm just like, I can't. My week
You do
has
this
been
right
so
now.
long.
Yeah, I
Just
feel you.
mm.
I feel
it
you.
was, my coworkers was like, you better show up for work tomorrow, and I was like, I might not. It's only 3 hours. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
What's your guys' stance on remote jobs? Do you think it would be beneficial or make you just super bored? You sound that's a very deep sigh, so I already know what the answer is.
I would love to have a remote job, but as much as irritated as I get of getting up early and like going into the office, if I worked from home, I'd never freaking get anything done.
That's true. I can't do it either. I have to have something to wake up and go do.
Now, if they were like, because there was a job I almost took at one point where it was kind of like you could make your own hours. Like as long as you worked.
That sounds like a good job.
Well,
Yeah, really.
It was like as long as you worked, say, 40 hours in the week, then you were fine. But you pretty much got to make up when those 40 hours were. And it would be one thing if it was like, okay, well, you're in the office this particular amount of time and you've got to work this many hours remote, but you get to decide when it is. Because then I'd be like, all right, well, I've been up for the last 24 hours getting this project done. Here you go. I'm going to sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'd like to do it because I at one point contemplated it, but then I was like, I'd never get anything done. But that was at my phase of before I was medicated and I couldn't deal with the world anymore. I couldn't deal with people in the public anymore. I was just like, I just lock me in my room and let me work. I don't care. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. What about arts and craftsy project stuff? Anything cool?
I always got my coloring books I'm working on.
Yeah. I just got into acrylic laser engraving. I don't have my keys though. Oh, man. Yeah, you can do it with a laser. It's amazing nowadays. I'll say in technology wise.
No, I've been working on it'll be like for the next month on job stuff, but like in the middle of time when I just need to zen is when I'm like, all right, throw on some crazy cop videos or public freak out videos on YouTube and I'll just zone out and color in one of my coloring books. It's my happy place.
That sounds like the life.
Yeah.
I feel you.
If I can keep my darn rabbit from chewing on everything. You get paper near her and she's chewing on everything.
She's like, ooh, fiber.
Yeah, pretty much. I was working on stuff last night and I had to create a barricade around myself with pillows so that she wasn't hopping over and like trying to chew up my notebook. And then I ended up having to like tear a couple pages off so that I could just stick it over to her and keep her occupied.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, looks like we will wrap it up for this evening.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
y'all will have to join us tomorrow if you're not busy, because we got a doozy for tomorrow on the Misfits at 9 p.m.
She said doozy.
We got Banned in the USA to show our love for all things banned, or banned as in can't use, can't read, can't watch, can't listen, and all things banned and all things that are not Tom Brady, because screw you, Tom Brady.
Exactly.
Tom Brady.
You'll get the joke later. Monday, we have the Litmen on all things UFL. On Wednesday, on Para or Normal Guys, that is Guys with a Z, we have Ghost Hunter Sophia Temperhill. And then back here next Friday, we have Isaac, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Bentacourt and Susan Smith. And in the meantime, please like, share, comment, subscribe, show your friends, show your friends' friends, show your family, show your extended family, second, third, fourth cousins. Let them know we're here.
Yeah.
And we will see you back here next week, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us tomorrow on the Misfits.
Sweet.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.